All right, guys, welcome to day 3 of Squish Gym Home Edition Workouts, part 3. I'm Alex.
I'm Megan.
And today we're going to start with an active warm-up different from what we did on day 1 and day 2. So day 1 and day 2's workouts were made for you guys to build that muscle-mind connection with your cores and start really strengthening yourselves when it comes to the capacity of you to engage bracing and your abdominal muscle. So right now what we're going to do is more of a warm-up focused on athletic ability, and we're still going to be working a little bit of core, but more strength-wise than muscle-mind connection. So Megan, please go on the ground. We're going to go into a knee push-up position. So what I'm going to want you guys to do is you guys are going to be doing 10 reps of push-ups and immediately flow into a plank as soon as you finish those 10 reps. Now Megan is going to showcase right now how we're doing those push-ups. It's important to maintain tension in the core as you're going down. A lot of people, when they do push-ups, they hang the lower back and they just push this up while keeping the hip down. This is not a good push-up. That's cheating. So Megan, let's go into a plank. So once you guys start off in the plank, there are several points that you guys have to watch out for. Number 1, you gotta make sure that the knees are completely locked out and there's tension on the legs. Number 2, there has to be tension on the core, like someone's gonna punch you from below, making sure you're hardening your torso. Number 3, you guys have to push away from the floor here, like you're putting tension towards the floor. So at that point, the plank is completely engaged. If someone was going to come and push you, you should be tight enough to resist movement like I'm showing you right here. So just imagine that me or Megan are coming around to push you around while you're planking and harden your body accordingly. Right, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get on the ground. We're gonna do a side plank now. So we showcased this one last time. Remember that the inner thigh of this leg is working, trying to raise that hip. The middle glute of the bottom leg is working to elevate the hip, and you should be feeling the oblique on the bottom part. Now it's very important that you raise the hip, but you do not break along the lines of the torso. The shoulder towards the heel has to be a straight line. So it's important that you don't twist and bend like this. This is very common fault find in side planks. You have to make sure that everything is stacked. Thank you, Meg. You guys will be holding side planks of about 30 seconds. So for our first exercise, you guys are gonna be doing water bottle hinges. So a hinge is commonly known as the deadlift or a Romanian deadlift or whatever variation of deadlift you like and love. Basically is the capacity of the body to go into a hinge while holding stiffness. So Megan, please walk forward a little bit more into the mat and show us some hinges. And so see, up and down, Megan. So she's gonna be right now engaging the exercise that you guys need to do. Notice how her torso is a straight line up and it's all controlled by the hip. So it's very important that you guys visualize that straight line in your spine as you're going up and down. Now, for this to happen, there needs to be tension in the upper back to hold the weight. There needs to be tension on the core, and you need to shift the hip back farther enough so that your hamstrings are controlling the movement and you're not squatting. Show us like kind of like a type of deadlift squat, man. See, a lot of people deadlift like this. This is not good. You're not really putting tension into the posterior chain. Give me a deadlift now, Megan. And it's all visualized by how far back the knee is. So you guys are gonna be doing 3 sets of 25 reps of this if you have water bottles. If you have dumbbells, pick a weight that will challenge you for 15 reps. And if you don't have dumbbells and you don't have water bottles, you at least have some bag or object of weight that you can grab with both hands and do the movement. So the next exercise follows along this hinge pattern that we're working, and it's gonna be a bent over water bottle row. So the bent over row is a movement where you're basically holding the bottom part of a deadlift and then you're rowing the weight up and down. The work is primarily centered into the lats and here the middle fibers of the trapezius. And it's very important that you guys don't cheat by shrugging the weight up. For example, a lot of people throw the weight up and dedicate it into their upper neck. This is not the correct way to row. The row has to be here. The other important thing of this is that the weight has to be distributed across your whole foot, and you guys have to keep feeling your butts activated holding the weight. So for example, if Megan goes forward into her tiptoes, it still looks like she has good form, but her posterior chain is completely deactivated, and right now her quads are taking the weight. So keep the weight on the butt. So you guys are gonna be doing 3 sets of 15 of these with a 2-second pause at the top. Next up, we are going to be doing water bottle rack squat. So this is kind of like an equivalent version of a searcher squat. The important part about this squat is to have weight in front of your body. Give us the rack position, Megan. So by having weight here, you guys are basically engaging your respective cores to hold the weight and activate before you engage the squat. It's very important that when you're getting into this position, you do not overarch the back here. A lot of people, what they do is that as soon as they lift weight here, they arch and they're holding their weight here as opposed to keeping themselves tilted forward, holding the weight into their core. Now give me some squat, Meg. So as you can see, when she's going up, she's making sure that she doesn't go into that arch position. So the key thing here to know whether you're set up properly or not is as soon as you have the weight up here in your face, you have to feel the core working. All right, so once you finish off the water bottle rack squats, 3 sets of 15 with a 2-second pause at the bottom, we are going to go into a shoulder series. So for the shoulder series, you're basically going to use the same, either a small dumbbell or the water bottles, and you're gonna be doing 3 sets of 15 on each direction. You're gonna start with 15 front raises. It's a very classical movement that a lot of people have seen. Now, there's some caveats to this. So again, number one thing is that if you raise the weight up, you're not allowed to arch the back. So a lot of people, when they do this movement, again, they put themselves backwards like this to raise the weight. So you have to basically feel like you're tilted forward so that your core is holding the weight. Good cue to know that you're doing it correctly. You'll feel your core working in this bottom part area. Second thing that's important to note is that the lats have to work to contract the shoulder. If you push the shoulder forward like this, you're gonna feel it up here. But if you keep the shoulder retracted, you're gonna feel here and in the frontal part of the shoulder. So once you finish off those 15 repetitions, you're going to go into lateral raises. So for the lateral raises, the main important thing here to focus on is again making sure that you're not arching the back, tilting the body forward, and that you do not take it to the point where the upper neck is going to take control of the repetition. So if you notice here, Megan is not going all the way up, go all the way up, Megan, because at this point, her upper neck will be doing all the work. She's doing a partial range where she's making sure that the weight will be working the lateral portion of the shoulder. Another important tidbit to know with this is that if you increase the weight, you will not be able to maintain straight arms. You will have to bend the elbows a little bit so that the weight distribution is better on the joints. So you guys are gonna be doing 3 sets of 15 of this, and then you're going to progress into the bent over water bottle back flies. So for these rear flies, you guys are gonna be raising those dumbbells and making sure that your torso is as parallel to the floor as possible. Again, if the weight is heavy enough, you guys will find yourselves needing to bend the elbow. And ironically, because these shoulder muscles tend to be very small and underdeveloped in the population, a water bottle might actually challenge you quite a bit to do the 15 repetitions. You guys might actually need to grab a smaller water bottle to be able to do the back raise. And so you guys will be doing 3 sets of 15 of this, and then we'll be going on into our glute burner. So you guys are gonna grab a mini band, and you're gonna have a look for a bench where you can hip thrust off. Right now we're using the hip thrust bench that's kind of portable, foam based. You guys will start off at the ground, or if the bench is higher than this, you guys will start off at the height of the bench. So once you're set up, you're going to make sure that once you elevate your butt all the way to the top, the shin is vertical to the ground. Now, the second thing you're going to try to look for is for the heels to be at least shoulder width apart And then stance wise, it depends honestly on the shape of your hip, what is gonna give you most glute activation. But it's a safe bet if you follow a form similar to this that you'll get quite a bit of butt. So once you're in that position, you're gonna fight against the band by opening your knees and you will go up and down. So for this one, it is 4 sets of 50 with 30 seconds of rest. At the end of the 200 repetitions, your guys' butt should be burning quite a bit. Now, it's very important to know that while you guys are doing this movement, you don't drop the butt down on the eccentric, but you're actually lowering your hip with control. Like, this is an exercise where you make it as hard as you voluntarily squish the muscle. So you gotta squish hard as you're going up and down. The band is gonna burn whatever you do, but you get so much more out of it if you actually contract your glutes. All right, let's go, Megan. You got 25 more. Oh. And so, I'm kidding. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Megan, anything you wanna add?
No, that's it.
All right, hope you guys enjoy it and stay tuned.